nervous about it.
Hello, everybody. Look who's here for his debut in Facebook Live Land. But I'm going to share us out before we get started in chatting because I'm really excited to have this special guest.
Hi, everybody.
David Lester.
I'm here.
This is my hubby. I promised you. I said, David's going to come on. You're going to meet him. We're going to hang out. And we're going to answer your questions about how you help the people in your life change when you're changing. Hint, you don't. And we're going to talk to you about a marital ritual that we practice every year that I think has helped us stay married.
It didn't hurt. Let's put it that way.
It didn't hurt.
Should I say hi to everybody?
Yeah, say hi.
Hi. Hey, Jennifer.
Say hi. Exactly. Hold on. I got to put my do not disturb on. You guys don't go anywhere.
Oh, come on.
All right, here we go. All right, I'm sharing us out, so don't go anywhere and say hi. You guys can ask questions. See, they're saying hi to you.
Oh, wow. Hi, everybody. Hi. I don't have my glasses on. I can't really see that clearly.
This is David's first Facebook Live experience ever.
Yeah, so I've learned I need to wear my glasses.
Right. Do you want to go get them?
No. I'll make it work.
Hey, guys, don't go anywhere. We're sharing this into the choice experiment. Thanks, April. I appreciate that. And into Worthy Woman, and we're going to hang out. What did my computer just do?
I don't know, but we're going to hang out while she does that.
That's right. Don't go anywhere.
I usually see this from the other side where she's just telling us to hang out and we're going to have fun together and we're going to do really cool things and we're going to get serious. And she's got some stuff to talk about tonight. That's
right. Hey, Mac Glitzer, I see you.
Hey, it is.
That's right. Hold on. We have to share
we're sharing out. One more. We're almost done.
That's right. Okay, cool. All right, we can shut the music off now.
Ooh, I hate turning the song off.
Shut it off.
All right.
See? All right, we're blowing this so you guys can see us. All right, hi, Facebook world. Hello, everybody. So, you guys get to see me all the time, and I love hanging out with you. Hong Kong loves a Lit Factor. Well, we love you. Thank you so much. And I'm really excited to be able to bring David on. And it's interesting, I had to position, I've never had another person with me. So this is an interesting little experience that we're all on together. But what motivated this was a live that happened earlier last week, where a few of you were asking, I'm growing and I'm starting to feel really good, but I'm getting pissed off at the people around me. And my husband is agitating me.
Thank you,
Kathy. Thanks, Kathy. My husband's agitating me, or the people around me that aren't growing. Hey, Marianne, that aren't growing. How do I handle that, right? So I had that experience. So I wanted to bring David on because he could speak to it in a different way than you can hear it from me, which is only serving to you as you guys are on your growth journeys going, how do I help the people around me, right? The second thing we're going to talk about is our marital ritual. It's a marital state of the union. Yes, of course. It's our marital state of the union, and I want to tell it to you guys and teach it to you guys so that you can implement it, because I strongly believe that it has contributed to a lot of connection and success in our marriage when we have a lot of variables, because this is our second marriage, by the way, if you guys didn't know that. So we have us, and we have obviously our combined daughters, and then we have components of other co-parents in the mix, and there's a lot of variables. So if we aren't aligned,
yeah, we have to be, then
it all goes to shit in a handbasket.
But it's
pretty
hard.
much. Yeah, right. Well,
you have to be open. We'll talk about it, but you got to be ready.
Right, exactly. So, hi Rodna, how are you? I'm so glad you caught this live too. This is going to be awesome. Tracy, what's up? Hello, Kimberly. Matthew, to each other what? What's the question? We will answer you, Marianne. Okay, cool. So, first, I want to acknowledge when I first started growing, to answer your question, your initial question. When I first started my growth journey years ago, and I want you guys to learn from me, don't do what I did. Take this lesson, okay? I got really self-righteous about what I thought I knew, and really impatient with why isn't he jumping on the train that I'm on, right?
Well, that I should have just, I should be understanding these concepts, and I should just be going for this ride and changing and starting to figure out all the things for me that I need to be working on. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And the thing that I want you guys to know is you cannot change anybody and you can't force it upon anybody. Hey, Hallie, I'm so glad you're here. And you can't push your shit on somebody else in the hopes that they're going to go, oh, okay, now I'll do it. Because change and growth, as you guys are learning, is something that takes consistency and consciousness and practice. And if you're not ready, my readiness is not going to make you ready.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, there were a lot of times we would have, marital things,
It's
exchanges, however. But I would be in a mood or something would happen at work and she would just jump right into what I should be doing. And I really wasn't in that space. I was enjoying being pissed off. I was enjoying, that downward spiral of shit and just, everything sucks and everybody sucks. And I was happy there. It was a comfortable place for me and I didn't want to hear, I wasn't ready. I wasn't interested in hearing it.
This is amazing. I love you. I want to highlight something. David was saying he was happy in that place of negativity, right? Like he was happy because you guys are learning this, and I want to take everything we're talking about into that lesson. When you are so conditioned to feel a certain way, right? And David used to be really good at spinning down in the rabbit hole of hell. Really where it's funny because we're very
award-winning good.
Award-winning good. That's true. Like we're very yin and yang. I'm like, sunshine and rainbows, and you used to be very like dark cloud and rain. It's okay because
sometimes.
This is what growth is, though. This is the point, right? So what I realized after I realized what I was doing was taking my shit and my righteousness about, well, why are you so pissed off? And can't you just leave that at work? And don't you know you get to choose? And really thrusting myself and my new learnings onto him. And that wasn't helpful. That wasn't helpful at all. So I finally realized, which you guys are just going to realize now and not do what I did, which is the whole point of this lesson, right? And understand that the best thing, and then I'll let you speak to this too, the best thing to do for people around you, especially your partner, because you guys, when you're in a partnership and you're in a marriage, you're two human beings trying to coexist 365, 24/7.
It's easy, right?
Holy shit, it's so much. It's so much. Right? And I think
what? You don't love me every second of every day?
No!
That same amount of what?
No!
Oh, I do.
No, that's not true. I do love you every single second of every day,
sure.
But sometimes I can't fucking stand you.
Yeah.
And that's just the reality of it, right? And I think it's really helpful to say this out loud. It's kind of like for all of us out there that are parents and nobody wants to say, yeah, I want to fucking punch my kid in the face or duct tape them to the wall.
I don't do it.
These are normal things. It's okay. It's okay to say it out loud. There's nothing wrong with you, right? But in the spirit of this, once I backed off and once I realized my journey is my journey and David's journey is David's journey, and I need to let him do him, and started focusing on myself even more and went deeper into my growth and deeper into my commitment to where I was going and my own evolution. It was through that space, and I'm going to let you speak to this, and
we'll get there.
And the modeling, because my energy was changing. And that becomes undeniable to the people around you. It almost becomes like, what's she drinking over there? She looks really happy. I want some of that. So at what point did you realize you wanted to grow and you wanted to do your own work?
I don't think I have an exact moment. I don't think I could sit there and recall and say, oh, this event happened and triggered it. I think it was more for me at least, and I don't know that it'll work for everybody, right? We're all different. But for me, it was more just seeing what was happening. Watching her, watching the changes, watching how, when I was going to go down one of those death spirals, she just backed away. And she said, great, you want to go and do that? Great, go and do that. I'm not going to be around. And, it eventually got to me, because maybe I was looking for some attention in those moments also, but it caught up to me to the point of saying like, well, what is going on over there? Like maybe there's a little bit happening there. And I think at some point I might have said, well, whatever it was, what is that you have going on? Why do you read that? Why do you write that? What do you, like some silly question, toe in the water kind of approach just to see. And I think even then it was just, oh, this is what it is, but just say it and leave it. Don't push at it. And I think you said it a lot and would just leave it. And for me, I eventually got to a place where I was like, well, this is not as much fun as I thought it was. I'm also not as young as I used to be. So like, I need to figure this out a little bit. And so I started asking.
Hold on, I have to interrupt you. So would you say you got to the point where you were sick of feeling negative and shitty all the time?
Well, yeah, I think that's what I was really looking at, saying I don't want to feel this way. I don't want to let these things, take me and let me do this with my mind. I don't want to be thinking about this, and I don't want to, it destroys so much time. You just give it away, this suck of negative energy.
Are we listening to this? we need to pause. We need to pause because we're teaching as we're hanging out, right?
All right, what did I say?
You said it's such a waste of time. It is such an energy suck, right? To be negative, to give your power away, to be a victim of the traffic on the way home, or your boss telling you something and you didn't like what you heard, right?
Yep.
Because what would happen, and David watches our lives together where the same way that you watch it, right?
I sit on the floor.
He's on the other side. Yeah. So this is a real new experience for both of us, and I'm glad that we're all here doing this together. But when you... Let me think of how I'm saying this. It is such a waste. It has become such a choice for you to say to yourself, I am done feeling this way. I am done, because what happens, and this is where I was going with this, my mind blank for a second. When you would bring something home with you, and this is for all of you, but we're using this gorgeous example because he's so willing and amazing, right?
Yeah, willing.
Willing to, I tied him up and made him sit here. I'm just kidding. It would translate into screwing up the whole night.
Yeah.
Right?
At least a portion
couple
of it,
hours.
until I got out of my own way, and I sometimes I'd go in the bedroom and just sit there for a few minutes, and eventually I was like, what am I doing? Like, what is this? Like, my family's out there and I'm just being a piss ass in the room, and
right, but the energy of it, when you walk in the door and you bring shit with you, you guys, something you need to know is people feel your energy before they hear a word you say. Right? You know it right away what's going on for somebody. So, and then at the point where you made your own choice, you've got.
But then I had to do it my way.
Right.
I had to figure it out for me. I'm very analytical minded. I wanted to do a little bit more research, trying to understand what are we really talking about here. It was a little bit hokey and frou-frou for me, and I was like, really? So I had to do it at my own pace, and I had to figure out what really worked for me. And it was just asking a few more questions, and a few more questions led to a few more questions, and then I got to a point where I said, I think I'm ready for a little bit of help. I don't know that I can do this all on my own, because I don't know that I know all the right paths and approaches, and I don't know how to notice it and find it myself.
And then what did you do? What was the first move that you made when you really were ready to grow and you were ready to make the commitment?
I don't know, this feels like a trick question.
It's not a trick question. Who did you hire? A coach.
Well, yeah. I hired
I'm leading the witness.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure where she was going. I hired a coach. I eventually got to a point, and I said, for me though, obviously she's not. No,
you don't coach. You do not. I don't. No, no.
But I wanted, for me, it needed to make sense to me, and so for me, I was like, I want a young, mid-40s dude. Maybe from the Northeast, that would be cool. Like somebody who would just get it. Somebody who would just, they just, we're vibing the same way. A little bit of some same experiences. But I was doing it my way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I wanted to find somebody who wasn't going to shove it down my throat and tell me I'm da-da-da-da-da. Somebody who's just going to be a little bit more subtle, because that's what I was looking for.
Ultimately,
serious but subtle.
You were able to interview several coaches, and he did it on his own. The point was, I wasn't a part of it. The only thing I did was
go... I was in Cincinnati when I interviewed him all.
Yeah, the only thing, it was like I just put my feelers out, I gave him a few names, and he ran with it. And what I will say is, in conclusion of this portion of our live, the guy who you just heard say, maybe it was too frou-frou, I was skeptical, I loved feeling pissy, it was comfortable for me to be negative, that guy said to me 2 days ago, your vibration attracts things to you. So I'm really paying attention to my vibration right now.
I'm killing it right now. My vibration, killing it.
Are you fucking seeing this? You guys don't understand. And I did nothing. That is the point.
This was me.
That is the point. So as you're sitting here and you're growing and we're doing all this work together, notice that the only reason why you're getting agitated and you're feeling a lack of ability to tolerate your partner or other people around you is, number one, because you're being righteous, and number two, you're in judgment and being impatient, when ultimately what needs to happen is you stay in your lane and you stay focused on you and you shift yourself and you grow and your energy changes and you start to show up differently, and then all of a sudden you're modeling it, and eventually, with patience and no timeline, the main person in your life and all the other people around you will start going, what's going on over there, right? And on their own, they will change when they are ready. And I just have to acknowledge you publicly in front of all of our friends how proud I am of you, and how he's also a sarcastic jokester. So know that. Yeah. How proud I am of you, and how grateful I am to you and your commitment of yourself and your own growth, because I know what it feels like to live on the light side, right? That's where the righteousness comes from, you guys. The righteousness comes from, my righteousness was from such a loving place, because I wanted to shake him and be like, what the fuck? Wake up! You don't have to give your power away. Negativity is killing your soul. Please stop, right? So it comes from love, but it never comes off in a loving way, right? Right. So, right. Let's be honest. It didn't come off
weird.
Loving.
Yeah. The whole thing was really, it was awkward and just, I think it separated us more. So I want to say what you said, but I want to say my words a little bit differently.
Yes, it did separate us more. Yes, go.
I think though, giving advice to someone who is really trying to make a change and do something, and their spouses, leave them alone, leave them be, walk away from them and go into another room. And because here's what I really truly believe about this. Love is an interesting thing. There's an attraction. I want to be with her. I want to be around her. I need, at certain point after being alone and being left alone, I want to go over there. I want to go with what they're doing. What's going on over there? They seem awful happy. There's good stuff happening over there. Like it's going to happen on its own. Don't pull it and drag it along, because you don't need to. Just love your spouse and want them to be with you, but leave them alone. And they're gonna want to be with you, and they're gonna show up. Right.
It'll pull, and I'm just I'm so proud of you, really, because it is amazing to me to go from, and this is also a testament to growth, right? To go from skeptic, thinking things are too woo woo, and really being happy in the negativity, to investing in yourself, right? Which also scared you, which is totally normal, right?
Oh yeah, it's
money. And I'm going to spend this money on myself, all that bullshit, right? Yeah. But you did it anyway because you knew that it was important and you were choosing. And now, seriously, you guys, your vibe,
killing it.
I've
been riding a high vibe for 2 days.
He's coming to
every
me.
day. I'm checking my door. I'm like, I'm just killing it. My vibe is so strong.
It's blowing my mind.
Yeah, but it's the thing. You want to talk about vibe for a second. It's so true. The energy you give off is the energy you get back from people, and I've just been paying attention to it for days. I'm just trying to keep a really high energy, just at work, just smiling, outgoing, just interacting with everybody, just to see, and even outside of work, just basketball practice for my kid or your Publix, whatever. Just seeing what kind of reaction I'm going to get from people if I'm really vibing high, and the response is really wild.
That's right, because energy attracts energy. It's one of the universal laws. And as you run your mind and as you start to spend more hours of your day in high-level emotions instead of low-level bullshit, you start to see the world differently, because the world comes back to you differently, right?
It's
both
wild.
Through the things that you see and through the energy you put out, because that's what attraction is, right? Right. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pause. I'm going to check some comments. This is your first time, so this is what we do, right?
Yeah, we check
And
comments.
then we are going to share with you.
Do we say hi to more people?
Yeah, so totally.
Okay,
you can say hi. Anytime you see a name, you go, hey, Janine.
It's the whole glasses
hey, Jen.
thing.
I know, you're a little blind right now.
Yeah.
And then we're going to share with you, so really don't go anywhere, our marital ritual, our annual marital ritual. We just did, because it was our anniversary. You guys know that was our anniversary. And I'm telling you, it is the reason why we are connected the way we are. So, Jody, what's up, girl? Hey. I'm going to scroll up a little. We're going to see some comments if there were any questions, and then we'll chat some more. Okay, cool. So, let's see what we got. Jen, And you guys, if I'm missing a comment, it's not because I don't love you. It's because I don't see them all. This is so much my relationship for the last 10 years. He is finally listening and catching on. Oop, I don't see the rest of that. Sometimes it does that. So I'm glad to hear that, Jen. Hello, caught the live. Yes. Hello, beautiful humans. Absolutely love this live. We're so glad. Karen, this guy knows he goes around the house telling me I'm not breathing right. Yes, that's great. Awesome. Awesome. Michelle, thank you both for sharing your life experience with us. I feel completely blessed to have found you. Thank you so much. And again, I can't see the ends of these, so if I'm not completing them, it's only because sometimes Facebook's a little temperamental. Hey, Carolina. Mwah. Admirable, admirable, how do I say that? Admirable that each of you understands that you are on your own path. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, and like I said, in the beginning I didn't. In the beginning I was all like, what's wrong with you? And why aren't you changing? Let's see. Courtney Hart. Okay, that wasn't for us. This is so fucking awesome. Sweet. Growth and positivity spreads like wildfire. Yes, profound. I love this. I'm so glad. Thank you so much. I think it's very important to do as well. Acknowledge their growth and give appreciation. Absolutely. Absolutely. You guys, the thing you want more than anything else is to be validated. Right?
Yeah, I think so.
The thing we want more than anything else is to be validated and acknowledged. So that's so true. All right, let's see. Killing it. Love it. Good, good, good. Try this, Janine. Try it, try it, try it. All right, sweet. Let's see what else we got. Hello, Alexis, Radna, Lisa. All right, good. I'm glad you needed to hear this. Marianne, already working at my house, right? Marianne, your transformations are amazing.
Hi,
and
Debbie.
I'm so happy to hear that. Hey, Debbie. Yes. All right. The lady boss. Hello, my gorgeous people. This is my team, by the way. I have the best team in the world, and they're hanging out with us.
You guys are awesome. I don't even know who you are, but you guys do awesome work.
Okay. Tracy, how did you back away and give space without feeling like you needed to fix it? Okay. So the first thing is as I was growing, I was gaining the inner power and the tools to be able to realize it's not my job to fix. I am not responsible for him. He's responsible for him, right? And it is not on me to crawl up his ass and make him do things, right? So I think the first thing is alleviating yourself from any limited thinking or limiting beliefs of you're responsible to fix or even that you can, because you cannot. And when you start from that point, it's easy to really realize, wait a second, the best thing for me to do, and it's just making that choice. It's making that choice to say, the more I push, the more disconnected we become, right? And it's not my job.
I didn't want to hear it in those moments
right,
as well.
Of course. It's like
I'm already in a pissy mood.
It's like dealing with a kid, really, right? Like your kids don't want to hear it. It's truth. So it was me backing off, realizing it's not my job to fix. And the more I stayed in my own lane, nurturing myself and doing my own growth work, it was like time like went by like this because I was so focused in my own expansion, right? And then there he was doing his thing, and now he's the high vibe, woo-woo, energy guy. Okay? I'm telling you, if anybody could imagine like the transformation of skepticism to talking about being high vibe, it's fucking awesome. I love you.
Wow, I love you too. Thanks.
Okay. So yes, validation is the greatest tool of it all. Jan, it's working in your home too. Your husband sounds more upbeat and happy. Yes, of course. Of course. So we're now going to move into phase 2. Krista, what's happening? This is David. David, say hi to everybody again because more people have joined. Okay. So we'll finish the second part, but then if you missed the first part, it was all about...
Go watch the replay.
It was all, yes, watching the replay.
I'm here from the beginning.
That's right. It was all about how to change your spouse when you're growing, which you can't. And we talked all about that and how this lovely man went from skepticism to saying things like, I'm so high vibe today. Seriously? Like, best. This to me beats any gift. Don't buy me a fucking diamond necklace. Stay high vibe, okay? Seriously. Don't get me chocolate. I don't give a shit. Stay high vibe. That is the only gift I need in my life. Okay? Okay. Let's see. Ashley, oh girl, preach. When I tried to fix my husband, I might actually,
Jan,
I can see this one.
There's nothing about my dancing that anybody wants to see.
That's not true.
I've been asked about shaking my ass on Fridays.
Hold on.
It shouldn't be shaken ever.
Excuse me.
It's
I'm going to show
awkward.
you David's signature move in a second, but Ashley
I'm from
said,
New Jersey, so it probably has a fist bump.
Ashley said, ooh girl, preach. When I tried to fix my husband, I noticed not only were we more agitated with each other, but I was losing my good vibes. Exactly. Okay, Jan, yes. May I show them?
Yeah, show him. It's
It's the fist bump.
I can't help it. It's like I just
David's
naturally do it.
This is the signature move. It's a signature move. Okay, so now we're going to talk about, yes, Debbie, you stick with me. You stick with me. You move through the experiment. You become a student in mind magic. Your whole world will shift, and your husband will quickly follow. Just like this magnificent man did,
I'm a
all on his
Northeasterner.
own.
I'm skeptical by nature.
Exactly. People from up north, we
New Yorkers. That's just what we do.
All right, so now let's move into something that was really the thing I thought we were going to mainly talk about.
Oh, we're not going to do my dance?
Well, you could dance.
No, I was just kidding.
Okay. Our marital ritual, and I really want to give this to you guys as a gift. And I will say this, if you happen to not be in a relationship that is romantic right now, no big deal. The same things I'm about to share apply to any relationship. If you're healing a parental child relationship, if you have a sibling relationship, something else familial, you could even take the principles of what we're going to talk about into the workplace if you're having issues. This is about connection and relationship. We're going to talk about it in the context of a marriage. Fair?
Yeah.
So we decided, we've been married 8 years now. Again, this is our second marriage. Every year we go back to the same place where we got married to celebrate. And you don't have to do that part. But once a year around your anniversary, number one, that part is important because energetically, that's when you chose to be together, right? Would you say that doing it on our anniversary holds an influence?
Wait, do you mean the time or the location?
No, the timing.
Oh, yeah, because, around your anniversary, generally, you're feeling, hopefully, you're feeling connected and loving, and so, it's a good time to be open and honest.
Correct, exactly. And if for some reason your relationship has fallen off the rails and so much disconnection is going on that you're not necessarily feeling connected and loving on your anniversary, if you ever are going to allow yourselves to do what we're going to tell you, doing it when you chose to be together is helpful, right? So that's step one. You're really choosing one time a year around your anniversary to sit and have what we call the marital state of the union.
Yeah.
It's the state of the union.
I look forward to it.
Me too. I have to say, he was so much more prepared this year than me. He was ready, okay? And I was like, oh shit, I have to think of some things. So basically, what it is both of us coming together.
Wait, hold on. You missed a piece.
Go ahead.
So Trey and I made an agreement years ago. Our marriage is a series of 1-year commitments. That's all it is. So every year coming into our anniversary, we're recommitting and saying whether or not we're in for another year. So far, so good. So, and I think she just signed up for a 2-year commitment.
Wait. He tried to get me to do a 5-year commitment.
I was just curious how far she would go. She was willing to commit to a 2-year commitment like it was nothing.
And I did. I said I'm in. I'll sign on the dotted line for 5 years. That's how fucking confident I feel. Maria,
but it truly is. It's a series of 1-year commitments. So all you're committing to is one more year. So every January, hey, are you in? You're kind of the weeks leading up, and truth be told, a little nervousness sometimes. Like, what are you going to do this year? And you want to give me a heads up?
Well, so, it does. It allows you space also. It allows you space, right?
Yeah.
So because ultimately, like we said at the beginning of the live, Courtney said, oh my God, I love that 1 year at a time. Hell yes. Yeah, and the thing about it, number one, is it instantly infuses levity. Instantly infuses levity into your relationship, which is critical. You guys know this. If you aren't light and playful, you're making your life so much harder, right? So it makes it light, and then it makes it feel less like stuck if you are having things you want to talk about, because you know that, right, you're doing your thing and you're just going to keep re-upping. So what we do at this time is sit down, right, and share what has been working for each of us, what isn't working for each of us, what I need more of, what I would like him to do less of. Same thing, right? You need whatever he needs more of, whatever I need less of. all of these things. Hold on, I gotta check some of these comments because they're coming in fast and
flying
furious.
in right now.
Hold on one second. Okay, I know because you need your glasses on. All right. Oh my god, I love that. Love it, Maria. You guys are so funny. I'm so happy you guys are here. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Radna, mwah. Jan, we've been married this year for 19 years. We take one year at a time. Yes, you go, girl. My lady bosses. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. That's so cute. Love that. We've been married 40 years. That's amazing.
Good for you.
Love this idea. Tracy, it's time for a Dave and Tracy podcast. Maybe we will. Love this. Good.
If I came on.
I know people want more of you. He said, he goes, what's going to happen? What's going to happen when they get a piece? And then they want more.
They're going to want more.
Right?
I just don't want you to feel bad.
That's because he's so high vibe, you guys. Okay, so let's get into it because the big question that has been asked to me before we're going to address. So we're sitting and we're having this conversation where we are laying it all out on the table, right? He is telling me things that I don't want to hear, right? I am sharing things with him that I have to muster up the courage to say because this is a moment where we're talking brass tacks. This isn't like niceties and let me just blow smoke up your ass.
I just got a beard compliment.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
This is about really sharing. Like, this is an area for me that I'm concerned about, and I need you to give it some attention because I could see if it plays out this way longer, it could be a real problem in our relationship, right? This is about really, really creating, and this is the key, and then I'm going to check the other comments. It's creating a space and a forum where we are safe, where we intentionally discuss, put your ego away, don't get defensive with me. That is not what this is about. We're sitting down to have this marital state of the union with the intention of betterment and deepening our connection. And the only way to do that is to be vulnerable and honest, and raw.
Yeah.
Right? So how do you not get defensive when hey Nips, how do you not get defensive in our marital state of the union where I'm telling you things that you don't want to hear?
Yeah. Well, it sounds scary. It is. No, it's terrifying. It truly is. It's wonderful and it's awful all at the same time. You know, it's one of those things where you have to, like Trey said, you have to approach it from a place of curiosity, right? So the listening part, because there's really two angles to this, and I think you hit on it perfectly, right? When you're there to listen, you're there to be curious. I love her to death. I want her to be happy. There's nothing more I want in life than to her to have everything. And so I want her to be honest with me because I'm wildly fallible, and I'm immature and lots of other things. And so I just approach it from a place of being curious. Why is she saying these things to me? Why are they important? What's really happening here? How can I be a better husband for this? How can I contribute better to our relationship? Look, I also know I'm going to get an opportunity to speak in a minute as well. So, the reality is you've got to then sit there on the other side and then say something. And, and it doesn't matter what it is. We've talked about everything from, sex and, frequency and all that all that goodness. Yeah. Through because we have kids that we weren't really part of conceiving, like Trey alluded to, and so it just adds complexity. And so you're gonna be talking about your kids or how you behave toward a kid or how you interact certain ways in certain times, and so you want to be able to say it because I want her to be able to know that it bothers me. I want her to know this is what's really on my mind. This is what I really need. If you want me to continue to opt in for another year,
right.
I want to see some changes as well. As amazing as you are, and as amazing as this community must think you are, our marriages work, and you need to put work
we're human
into
beings.
It. Yeah.
That's the point, you guys. We're human beings, and the whole thing about this that I think is really interesting is, being able to be vulnerable, and it's like this just came to me. It's like preventative care for your marriage. For whatever relationship you're applying this to, right? Because if you don't choose to intentionally sit down in a connective way, in a neutral space, not when you're pissed off about the thing that you want your spouse to change, that is the wrong time to try to have a conversation, right? Would you agree with that?
Oh, no, it would be a disaster.
Oh, fucking terrible.
Train wreck, yeah.
Terrible, okay? But in a neutral space, where you're both in the intention is let's connect and let's be open. You choose to put your ego in a little box in the corner, and it's not allowed. It's not allowed.
It won't work.
This is a soul-based conversation because you just nailed it. It will not work. You will shut down and it will become defensive and it'll quickly become like a kind of thing, right? And ultimately realizing that when you talk about what you need, when you communicate your feelings from a space of love and vulnerability, then you will increase your connection, right? Then you will actually get your needs met. Then it's not me not saying something to him and sitting on it for 6 months and getting resentful and pissed off. And then the snippy shit starts. And then he's like, what's wrong with you? And I could have talked about it already.
Passive aggressive.
Right? Yeah. Right, exactly. It alleviates all of that because you're open and you're out there. And that's what I believe makes a relationship thrive. And I can say, based on the fact that we've had prior marriages, right? Like, it's your ability to get over yourself, to say what you need, to hear what the other person needs, and meet it without resistance, and honor it. And now you both know at this marital state of the union, okay, babe, I hear you. This is what you need. This is what you need. And this is how we're going to work on it together. And then you're excited because everything's out on the table. You haven't done one of these shove it down, shove it down, shove it down, pissed off. Let me talk to my friends about it. Let me bitch and complain.
Well, can I say one more thing? You know, it's not like, and again, I think we have a great marriage, and so, you know, we're in a very lucky position as well, but it's not like you're sitting down with your spouse and sitting there going, I think you're an asshole when, I mean, you have to watch your message. You have to watch your tone. You have to watch your approach. You need to come from a place of love as you're smacking the crap out of your spouse. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just the reality of it. So check yourself when you have the conversation and come from a super respectful place.
And you know what's interesting about that is when you put your ego down, you will automatically come from that place. And I don't know that you ever realized that this is what was happening within you behind the scenes, but ultimately, your ego is the part of you that would make you come from an attack mode. Your ego is the part of you that needs to be right. Your ego is the part of you that needs to push and do this, right? But if you're putting your ego down so that you can receive what that person's sharing with you, then you're also not going to show up with your ego when it's your turn to tell your partner, hey, this is what was great and this is what... It's kind of like a marital performance review. Right?
A 360, if you will.
That's what it is. So it's like a little evaluation, and then you can excitedly and connectively, and I will tell you, every year cumulatively, I feel more connected to you. I feel more excited when we come back together after this night. I feel more amorousness towards you than I normally would because now we've gone deeper. Because you guys, 24/7, 365. You're just two human beings, okay? You're just two human beings trying to fucking do this thing called life. If you think you can do that without maintenance checks and without intentionally having communication and connection and dialogue, you cannot, from a place of satiation and nourishment and joy and happiness and wanting to have a lot of sex and really have a marriage that you feel excited to be in. Right?
Hi, Jenny.
Jenny's laughing at you, right? It's non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable. We tend to do the marriage thing as one of those additional societal order of operations. Check the box, school, college, mate, marry them, kids, right? And then you wonder why you feel yuck or you're pissed and you're filled with resentment or you're short-fused or you're triggered or you feel alone even though you're married and all of these things that go on, right?
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's really about realizing you're just two humans trying to make a go at this thing and your best shot at remaining compatible because love is lovely, but it is not the thing that makes a marriage thrive. It's not. It's not. It is your compatibility and your ability to communicate and hear each other thoroughly and then respond in action towards what they had to say. And constantly be kind of moving together like this instead of moving together like this or other ways that are not so congruent. Right? Right.
Yeah, my cute ass doesn't hurt either.
Yeah, he's super cute. That's true. So That's what it is. So you guys get to take this with you, right? Marital state of the union or relationship state of the union, or apply whatever relationship you're in to this and make a commitment. Make a commitment right now. You're going to do it every year around your anniversary, right? You're going to set it up nice. You have some wine or some drinks or whatever your vice of choice is, and make sure your kids are nowhere to be found, okay? Your marriage is not about your kids. And if it's become too much about your kids, you need to check that shit out right now, because I'll tell you something. Your kids are rentals. Okay? You got them for 18 years and then bye-bye.
Just don't make a jerk after 18 years. That's your job.
Right, exactly. So ultimately, it's about the nourishment. It's like we do so much focusing. The kids, the kids, the kids, the kids. One of the other commitments that we made to each other is no, it's us, us, us. If something's going on with one of our kids, it's because we need to align. Right? Yes, Stephanie, there's going to be a replay. Yes, yes, yes. The replay doesn't show up until the live is locked and over. So ultimately, know that too, is that it's about you guys, because you set the tone for your life. Okay? So there you go. That's what we got. I'm going to check some final comments. And of course, David, if you have anything else you want to say to these amazing humans who were hanging out with us and learning.
No, I'm just glad to be here. Thanks for the first
Ooh, we got to check the ego at the door.
Sure do.
Let's see. David, you should meet my husband. His inner child says it never wants to grow up. Yes.
Oh, totally. I'm 13 at heart. It's never getting older. I think it's all guys, though. It's my honest opinion.
Totally. I agree, but I'm not a dude. You're welcome, Arloa. I'm so glad you were here. Thank you for this. Preach. Respect each other. Absolutely. This is important. Going to do it with your husband. Yes, Maria. Awesome. He's all for it. Sweet. Let's see. All ours are grown and gone. Oh, yep. Yeah, it's awesome. It doesn't make me upset at all. It makes him really upset. So have you been in a situation of what you need more of, he wants less, or vice versa? And then, hold on.
Oh, so have we ever had a situation where I told you something?
And then what? Wait. So have you been in a situation of what you need more of, he wants less of, or vice versa? And then what? Have we ever been at an impasse?
Probably talking about our feelings.
Yeah, probably. You know what? Actually, it's funny. Something along those lines where I would want to talk more about my feelings. And then here's the thing that I realized. This is super valuable too. This is such a great question. It's going to help you guys. Your spouse isn't supposed to be all things to you. Hey, Dan White. Your spouse is not supposed to be all things to you.
Yes.
Right? We tend to think like, you know, especially, and I'm gonna just, you know, kind of generalize for us with, you know, the people with the vaginas. We tend to like, well, talk to me more, and, you know, these are my feelings and I want to talk more about my feelings, or I want to express this, or, you know, really kind of get into that space. At least for me, I like to be in that space, right? And what I realized is he's one component of what fulfills my life, right? And your spouse is not supposed to be all things all the time. And I can call any of my best friends. I can call my sister, who's my best friend, and I can call my other girlfriends and have that kind of feelings conversation that I want to have that nourishment and nurture and feel nurtured in that area. And he's just a pig in shit doing whatever he's doing. And it's like learning that through the course of that, I don't need that from you. And that actually came out in the dialogue. You know what I'm saying? To answer that question. So, great question. Hold on. Debbie, kind of sad, but you get used to it. What's kind of sad?
With the kids leaving the house.
Oh, gotcha. Thank you.
We're vibing.
Debbie and David are like boom, boom, boom.
I'm with you.
All right, awesome. Let's see. Sandalicious, hello. I need to hear about your silent meditation retreat, by the way. Message me later. How did you meet after past relationships? We met online.
I found her. Yeah. This is all me. I'm totally responsible for this.
Yes. We are obviously our second marriage. We were both online, and we met online. And I had been dating for almost 5 years on and off. I have all the stories to prove it. I will write a second book on that one day. And David, by the grace of the universe, literally joined JDate. We're Jewish. It was a Jewish online dating site. To meet me, saw my profile, met me, married me. I think he's the only person in the world who has ever had an online dating story that was, ooh, her, yes, pay the money, email her, she emails back. We get on the phone. 20 months later, we're married. Done. Right? Yeah. It's amazing. So that's how we met. Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome. Vulnerability is everything. Oh, I'm so glad that you guys enjoyed this. Yes, you're vibing. All right. Well, this is it. We did it. We did it. So now you guys know, how do you help change?
Put your arm around me. I don't get it.
How do you guys help change the people in your life when you're growing? You don't. You keep focusing on yourself and showing up for yourself, and they will figure it out for themselves, just like this high vibe man has done and is continuing to do. And now you can take the marital state of the union into your lives and into your relationships, because if you are not communicating, real communication, not, hey, pick up milk and the kid did this and can you drop someone off, you're not really connecting. And it's super, super important for not only your souls and the health of your marriage, but for the joy and the fulfillment of your life. So honor yourselves and start a ritual. And love you. Anything else you want to say?
No. Thanks for the time.
Okay. Love you. Mwah. Love you. Mwah. Talk to you guys later.
Bye.